Oh, it was a big news day yesterday. We've got a lot to do today. Let's get to it. It's the 5-minute commute. We start with the question of the day. And again, I'm always shocked at the answers. I think I know the answer and I do not. You guys always have different answers for it. So, question of the day today: should politicians be allowed to trade in stocks while in office? Should politicians be able to, knowing what they know and what's coming up and what laws they're putting in place and what people have said to them, should they be able to trade in stocks while they're in office? That's the question of the day. Put your answer in the comments below. First big story of the day: Anthony Fauci is being held in contempt of court by the Court of Congress for pleading the Fifth. Now, here's where it gets confusing, is that the Fifth is one of your constitutional rights to plead, and it is regularly pled, and no one has ever been held in contempt for using it. So how are they doing that? Well, here's the loophole that they think they're using. He has a pardon, so he can't be imprisoned, so he can't incriminate himself. Therefore, he doesn't need to use the right to not incriminate himself. That's the loophole they're saying. Is it real? Is that an actual thing? Well, my opinion, and I'm going to get in trouble for that, as much as I don't like people pleading the Fifth, because I want the answers, just like everyone else wants the answers, it is a right. And there is more to incriminating yourself than a pardon. So I'm kind of against it, even though I don't like that I don't hear the answers. We reported just the other day that we're running dangerously low on munitions in Iran. By the way, today's the 6-month mark of the Iran war. Just a side note there. 6 months we have been there now. So anyway, we reported that we're running low on munitions. That was widely reported. And here's the thing. Trump responded yesterday with following tweets, which we'll put right there, where he says that we have massive amounts of munitions and that whoever is doing that is a liar, but also treasonous for leaking that information. How are they both? Story really came out yesterday. The USS Abraham Lincoln, which is an aircraft carrier, a bunch of families have gotten together and said, hey, people on this aircraft carrier say that there's not enough food, that there is mold in the bathrooms, that they haven't had a day off in 9 months, and they're all going a little crazy, and that they need a break. And I get that. So there's more to this story, and we will follow along with it as it progresses. I'm sure that they are not the only person in this war that is dealing with that. Today is National Purple Heart Day. So you know the Purple Heart, right? The award that the military gives to somebody who's injured or killed. I know that from movies. I know that's a terrible way to say that I know it, but that is how I know it. The Purple Heart is what you get for being wounded or killed in the military fighting for your country. What I didn't know about it was that it is a George Washington thing. He's the first guy that ever did it. He created the award in 1782, and it has been around ever since. And today is Purple Heart Day. And to all of you that have served, whether you have a Purple Heart or not, thank you for your service. On this day in 1953, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Try and say that fast. It's not easy to say. Anyway, he signed into law the Refugee Act. And 200,000 people came from what you would call oppressive countries to the United States then, over the last couple of decades, or after that, over a couple of decades of him signing that act into law, where he said yes, and the American people said yes. If you are in trouble in other countries and you need to come here to be safe, you are welcome. And that used to be a law and used to be the way we did things. And that brings us to the last mile. Now, yesterday we talked about Abdul El-Sayed and how he was defined as a democratic socialist. And then yesterday, because of that, I did a little bit in the last mile about capitalism and socialism, all right? He came out yesterday and said he's capitalist, which I also said yesterday, which is ironic. He said his major concern with capitalism is monopolies. And that used to be a thing. This is the opinion part of my show. That used to be a thing. And the one that always strikes me is I remember way back in the day, AT&T was broken up for being too big. Do you remember that? And it became Sprint and Verizon and all those other It was like Bell South or something too. I don't remember. They broke AT&T up because it was too big and too powerful, and they made it into a lot of smaller companies. And I haven't seen it since. I don't know that we do that anymore. And some of our companies are so huge now that they're putting other companies under. And that's where we need that regulation, right? All right, hopefully you've enjoyed the show. I stuttered enough today that I'm laughing at myself. So please laugh at me as well. Don't forget, like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Please help me out by doing one of those things. Even if you don't like me and you click the don't like, that helps me too. I know that's ironic, but I don't mind if you do it. That's it. Have a great day. And don't forget, be kind to someone today.